What is going on, my YouTube fam? Can you believe that we are in the month of November? I mean, we have Veterans Day coming up, the Marine Corps birthday coming up, Thanksgiving coming up, and then Christmas is going to be right around the corner. Before you know it, we're going to be in 2026. Perfect timing for you to get the keys for your forever home because I found it. If you're looking for a two-story home that's close to 4,000 square feet, where on the first floor has everything, has all the boxes checked. I'm talking about the primary bedroom, a secondary bedroom that's great for your guests. We're talking about a study, so a nice home office. Again, this is all on the first floor. A formal dining area. And let me check here the floor plan real quick. I think there's one thing I'm missing. Formal dining and that home office all on the first floor. So we're going to be able to see that. And on the second floor, we're going to have a game room and a media room along with the two other bedrooms. So this floor plan, if you're thinking in terms of resale value, in terms of the value from this specific floor plan, it is going to age very nicely over time because this is one of the most in-demand floor plans because it has that primary and secondary, which is pretty much a guest bedroom on the first floor. And keep in mind, though, this is a model home for the builder Coventry, and this home probably isn't for sale. It wasn't at the time when I was touring. Typically, the model homes do go for sale, but that's up to the builder on when that may happen. Because this community is like a pocket community, there's probably going to be, I don't know, maybe 100 homes or less being built here. I could see this home being sold in the very near future. So here we are standing in the butler pantry. So keep in mind with the model homes, it's going to be professionally staged, and it's going to have all the bells and whistles in terms of upgrades. So that butler pantry would be an upgrade. That fireplace that we saw in the living room with the brick all the way going up to the ceiling, that would be an upgrade. Usually a lot of the high end finishes are going to be upgrades. I'll try to point them out when I see them. And that back patio where it almost has those sliding doors, that more than likely will be an upgrade as well. Now, this home is called the Kaufman floor plan, and it's 4 beds, 4.5 baths, which is lovely. We always love the 1 bedroom and 1 bath scenario because, again, in Texas, we love bathrooms. Buyers love bathrooms, and having that ratio of 1-to-1 is the most ideal situation you can have, especially at this price point. Notice the nice tray ceilings up top. That's always a nice upgrade when builders do that. It definitely gives a little bit of depth to the room, a little bit, especially if you paint it a different color. It can give you a different perspective there. And it looks very nice. I think one of the rooms, upstairs, has that, and I'll point that out, that color distinction so you can see. Again, over 4,000 square feet. This is a humongous home, big enough for 2 families. Almost, because the first floor and second floor, it has its own living area, and you almost wouldn't have to come down because you have everything you need up there, especially if you add like a little mini fridge area. So again, on the first floor, it has that formal dining that we're going to see here in a second, and it has the study. And I love that they did the home office at the very front of the house. I've seen some builders do the home office on the side of the house, which a lot of buyers do not like because they want to have a view if they're working from home, and typically they want to see who's coming in and out the door or who's driving on their street, not so much the side of their neighbor's house. So I love that Coventry did that here. And I love this on the first floor. So to me, this is a very high-end feature. When we were just in the master bedroom, we're walking to the master closet, walk-in closet, and then it's connecting to the utility room, which is the washer and dryer room. So you can almost do a 360 on the first floor. And I love when it's just highly functional. And look, it just takes you right to the secondary bedroom. So if you have guests and if you have grandparents or some older folks, they're going to be very close enough to the primary bedroom. We don't want them too close, but close enough. We saw that walking distance. It's not too bad, especially since you have such a huge walk-in closet, like almost in between. And this one does have a nice private, its own bathroom, which is nice. Usually the bathrooms would be shared between your guests and the person who's in the bedroom, but because this is a very high-end neighborhood, a very high-end builder, in this particular community, they added the full bath with the bedroom, which is nice. And there is a powder room on top of that, so you won't have your guest's bathroom disturbed by other guests, especially if you plan on entertaining while having some folks stay over at the same time. That's always going to be very nice, very functional, and just less headaches. So here's that bathroom I was talking about. Very, very nice. right there by the living areas. So it's highly functional. It's very intuitive. Usually I've seen some powder rooms kind of hide or be in underneath the stairs, and that it's, I mean, once you open the door and see it, it's like, okay, there, it's there, but it's not as intuitive. And it's again, the layout is very nice, and it was very easy to tour this home. You kind of weren't guessing at where stuff is because it was very intuitive. Here's a nice formal dining area, again, on the first floor. So you do have a breakfast nook area. You have a formal dining area, so you can really entertain, have parties, and have all the space you need to really have your family entertain. That was the little mudroom area. We saw that those were the sales person's office that would eventually be converted to a 2 or 3 car garage, depending on what the layout for this particular lot. And here's that home office. Here's that home office at the very front of the house. Beautiful, beautiful. I love when they do that. Home office is definitely on trend. Many builders are doing that. So if you are working from home and this is a home that's a little bit out of your price budget, I do know of builders that have a home office that are in the, I would say, $300,000-$400,000 range. So I can definitely find something within your budget to see if we can check those boxes. But this is definitely in the high mid 700s. I think is what this floor plan starts at. I've seen in other homes in this community that go up to 900,000, almost over $1 million, depending on all the bells and whistles that you're adding. But because we are in Leander ISD, that's a huge big check in the box, Leander ISD. But once you see the views. Once you see the views for this place, because I have the drone shots towards the end of this video, you're going to see probably some of the best Leander hilltop views ever. And you'll see here, and I'm going to point out towards the end on the map exactly why you'll be able to have almost unobstructed views of hill country, Texas hill country, towards the end of this video. So here we are in the media room that they kind of staged as like this little music. I saw the vinyl on the wall there. I loved it. Usually, media room, they're going to do TV and stuff, but they ended up going the music direction, which is not bad. I love the pool table that they do for the game room. And again, for a 2-story, for this price tag, I know a lot of buyers want to be able to see below from above, and you definitely get that box checked. And I love that, just that breezeway going across. It's very, you can see the front door. It's very, very nice. I know a lot of buyers really, really want that. And so here upstairs, we have the 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, along with the media room and the game room that we just toured. Again, each bedroom has its own bathroom, which is very, very nice. So a couple quick facts about the community. Tax rate is not my favorite, 2.44% at this range, or at the price point that we're talking about. You're gonna feel that. That's a little bit on the higher end. The HOA is not too shabby. That's pretty much on par. $50 is usually where I kind of see it fluctuate. $40-$50, especially in these newer communities. But the amenities here are not that bad. I take that back. There's actually 2 amenity areas for this, because you have Palmera Ridge, that's an older community, and Palmera Bluff, which is a new one that we're touring right now. Both, even though they're neighboring communities, and typically you would think that you would have one amenity center that's shared between the 2 neighborhoods, they decided to create its own amenities for this specific. But I believe you'll have access to both. Don't quote me on that, but at least you'll have access to one. But I think you could probably have 2 because they're so close to each other, and you'll probably make friends anyway. And the amenity pool and playground for this particular community is beautiful. It almost overlooking the hill country that we'll see here in a second towards the end of the video for the drone shots. Let's see. It's a natural gas community. That's a big plus. I know for this price tag, more of my buyers like natural gas and electric. Leander ISD, that's going to be a big one and a big draw for this community for future buyers. And if you're thinking for resale value, Leander ISD is definitely one of those big check in the boxes for a lot of buyers. Leander or Liberty Hill ISD, that is they have the highly rated schools, elementary, middle, and high school. So that is the big draw to a lot of people moving here. Let's see. The incentives here are just getting better and better, I feel like, with time, because we are in a buyer's market and stuff is sitting because, we are having this affordability crisis. So what our builders are doing, they are not stopping with the financial incentives. When you think financial incentives for builders in Texas, at least here in Austin, you want to think, hey, I might be able to get a lower interest rate, maybe a few points lower than what the market interest rate is, which is huge, because that's hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars with this price point saved monthly. Let's see, you can have some of your closing costs paid for, or if that isn't an issue and you just want to upgrade your home, then it's flexible cash in that sense. We could use that towards home upgrades, buy down the interest rate, or pay for some closing costs. Whatever your specific needs are financially, we'll discuss them and we'll see how we can position ourselves to get that with the builder during the negotiation process. Okay, here's that drone shot I promised you. Check it out. There's not a lot of homes being built, and those are all green belts. Down the way there, that's another community called Bar W Ranch, which is another huge master plan community. Lots of people are moving there. It's probably one of Leander's most hottest communities because they are selling like crazy, because the price point I think starts in 300, so it's very, very nice. More people can afford that, and you have beautiful amenities. I've toured it. I've toured the amenities. I'll have all the videos in this playlist that you can check out. Just Google Bar W Ranch, and you'll see all of that and what they have to offer. They have multiple builders there. It's a master plan community. Definitely a different tier or different category than what we're looking at here, but something to look at if the shoe fits, if that makes more sense for you. So here is the pool, and look at how it's just completely kind of almost, it feels like its own oasis, because like almost in there amongst the trees. I know that wasn't a long shot for the pool. I have another video that I will be doing here, because I did come back a second time to get a better drone shot of the pool, because this particular day was a little bit windy and I didn't want my drone to crash. So I decided to leave that for another day. So that was this was Coventry Homes. This is in Leander, Texas, and that was the model home. And again, this is not a big community. They probably have, I would say, 100 homes or less before they're done, and you're going to see here why. Let me share my screen here so we can take a little bit more of a deeper dive of what's in the surrounding area. Okay, so here's my very special map. This is how I keep track of all the new construction happening here in the Austin area, because this is how much there is. That's how much is going on. Look at that. Look at that. I can tell you a very long story about this whole map, because this is like a living thing for me. I add this daily whenever I see a new builder, a new community pop up, and then what did I do? And those little squiggly lines that you see there, those are development projects that are happening. So that's going to be its own video, because you can see there's a lot of stuff happening here. But let's focus on Palmyra Ridge. That's not to be confused by Palmyra. I'm sorry. Let's look at Palmyra Bluff, not to be confused with Palmyra Ridge. Those are two different communities. They're neighboring, but just so you don't get confused, because I know that can happen, because they sound so similar. Okay, so here's Ronald Reagan Boulevard. This is a huge road that goes north to south. That's going to connect you to the major highways to go to work or to commute. So it runs north to south, almost parallel with 183. That's another 183 is a freeway and a slash toll. So if you are commuting to work, more than likely you're probably going south, because south is where downtown Austin is, or the Domain area where a lot of the tech companies are located. So you'd be going south. So you would go down Ronald Reagan or 183. So you are close to a major, not highway, but a major street. Ronald Reagan is it's a big street. It almost needs more lights in this particular area, because people go fast here. And I think the light there's maybe a light here off of Whitestone, and then there's no lights until you get up here. So people are going, and this is hill. You can't really tell because it's a 2D map, but this is all hill country. Okay, so we were just seeing that. Remember that drone video? Let me go back so you can see that one more time. The drone video towards the end, how we saw we were on the hill right here, right? And you see all those the green belts. Okay, so when we look at the map here, you're gonna see all the green that you see are green belts, and this is all hill country. And you're going to have, so here's Palmyra Ridge, right? This is a community that's been around for a long time, and there's not, they still sell here, but just not brand new homes. But Palmyra Ridge is a new section that they opened up, and you can see just how it's towards the end. Like they have no more space to possibly build. So this will be that's why you're going to have the unobstructed views, right? And and right below is the San Gabriel River. Right, and you kind of could see that with the drone shot video. At least I remember seeing that. So you're going to be surrounded in nature, and you're going to be close to everything. This is that's the huge draw. It's the location here is, I think, what fetches a high price tag, because not only will you be close to all of nature, you're going to be close to Costco. This is a Costco right here. So you would just go up Ronald Reagan, north of Ronald Reagan, and then just turn left on Highway 29. And there's a Costco right here. I take that back. There's a Costco coming soon. There's another Costco not too far off, though. It's over here in Georgetown, and it's a brand new one, actually. That's not too far off over here. I think there's a Costco. Let's see, Costco. Let's look it up. Costco. Search for Costco. Okay, there we are. So it has the two that I kind of pointed out at, which was right here. That's coming soon, and then the one up here for Georgetown. So I would say from this all the way up here, that would probably be like 25, 30 minutes. If you're going to the one in Georgetown, but that's temporary because the one that's being built here, that's going to be within 15 minutes. I always like to think of the 15-minute rule for when it comes to conveniences like Costco, a grocery store, like nightlife or entertainment. If everything's within 15 minutes, you're in a great location. And a lot of buyers will agree with you. I know when I frame it that way, a lot of my buyers, they are with it. And so that's a rule of thumb. HEB, minutes, I would say within under 10 minutes or less. Super close. The only thing that would be difficult is coming in and out of this community because there is not, I think, a dedicated light for this community. So to turn left when there's not a stoplight, you have to be fast and you need to be vigilant. Okay, so HEB, and then as far as if you're looking for anything to do, I mean, you're next to Leander. There's a bunch of stuff to do, Leander, and in Georgetown. So you're going to be in the middle between two amazing cities. And Liberty Hill, I mean, it's growing in the sense of it's adding more and more stuff to do. They are revitalizing a couple things here. Like what I have here in purple is some of the projects they're doing that they have in motion. They're going to have a few more dining options like Panda Express, Bojangles, Wendy's, Popeyes, and Whataburger. Liberty Hill was kind of like known as a sleeper town in the sense that they just had too many roofs, too many residential homes, and not enough commercial multi-use development. So that's why you kind of had to leave. You can only sleep there. You had to leave if you want to do something. But that's slowly changing. There is a downtown revitalization project happening, but I haven't seen any movement on that last time I was there. And then the other big news for Liberty Hill is just that, not just a Costco. It's going to be a Costco, a Target, and another 7-Eleven coming soon. That's going to be close. Even though it's technically in Liberty Hill, look how close it is from this community. That was Bar W Ranch by D.R. Horn. That was one that was if this community is out of your budget, then we could definitely find something not too far off at Bar W Ranch for D.R. Horn. Let's see here now. So that's a little bit of the surrounding area. And again, all these other orange icons, these are all builders. These are all builders. So if we can't find, I know we can find it if we didn't find it in this particular video, because the price point, the layout, the area, I know I can find it because look, there's something for everyone here. And the biggest advantage for you if you're a buyer watching this, especially from out of state, is that we're in a buyer's market. We have way too much inventory. So why is that important? Because with so much inventory and affordability still being a huge issue, stuff sitting, and builders are just getting more and more, I don't want to say desperate, but they're getting more, the incentives are just adding more to it, right? I'm talking about not only can we negotiate the price of the home, we can get all the incentives, but you have to frame it correctly. And you have to have a great relationship with the salesperson so you know how to approach it. And that's what I do. I've made relationships with a lot of the salespeople here in the Austin area. If you see it here on my map, chances are I've been there. You can look at my YouTube channel. I tour these properties on a daily basis because I want to keep a pulse on the marketplace here in Austin, with especially new construction, because that's where the deals are being had. A lot of the resale market here in Austin is sitting because a lot of people are looking at new construction. If you're coming here to Austin for the first time and you're looking at a home and you don't want new construction, chances are you're probably going to check it out anyways. Because if you're looking at resale specifically, why wouldn't you look at new construction just to compare, especially to see what the incentives are like? Because I'm sure you heard of how good they are here. And when I've spoken to buyers and they're not leaning in a particular direction, the incentives is usually what clinches for new construction. I'm seeing interest rates 3.99%. in the low fours. And if that is something that, and most buyers are very price conscious, and they're looking for the most affordable or the least amount in terms of their monthly payment for the mortgage, and you can definitely get that with the builder's incentive. So that's why new construction is going to reign supreme for the upcoming future here in Austin, because they're building like crazy. They've slowed down compared to how quickly they were building during COVID, but you could just see here the momentum, the opportunity, and the optimism for Austin. I would say Texas as a whole is what's bringing all the builders and the money here to build, not just residentially but commercially. So there you have it. There you have it. So if you want to work with me, I'll have all my information in the description below. You can call me, or you can set up a discovery call. I actually prefer the discovery call because we could take a deeper dive in your situation. I can share my screen. We can go over a little bit of the more in the numbers of that particular community, whatever checks your boxes, and that way we can just have a very nice deep conversation with showing you a little bit of the numbers of what I'm seeing on my end. So again, my name is Omar Pineda. I'm your Austin realtor with EXP Realty. Thanks for watching, and then I'll catch you on the next one.